Hello everybody, welcome to your first sample question under the self-employed requirements topic. My name is Kyle Broda from fullskillsexamprep.com, and just a very big thank you for tuning in and taking the extra step towards becoming a member of the ICCRC. If you're following along in the test day data book, you'll know that this is on page 32-33, but these videos, of course, are really to help you focus on understanding how to answer these types of questions. Of course, we have quite a few sample questions for you in the exam simulations as well. And if you join us for the seminar, you know that we cover this topic pretty thoroughly as well. All right, you have all of these links for you to work your way through as well when you look at these videos. And again, these will really help you round out that knowledge of the self-employed category. So after you understand all of these and go through the videos, you can really tick off that box and you can take it off of your to-do list. Let's move on into your question of the day. As you know, understanding how to answer these types of questions is really a great way of studying. Okay, so for this one here, we have Elva. Elva is a 22-year-old graphic designer from Norway, and she would like to immigrate to Canada. She contacts you to see if there is an option for her to immigrate under the self-employed category because she would like to change her career and become a nurse, but would like to pay the lower Canadian fees for the University of Toronto as a permanent resident. In assessing her points, you note that she has 5 years of experience as a graphic designer and speaks fluent English and French. She has savings of $20,000 to help her settle in her new country, and she will live with her uncle in Mississauga for the first few months. Is she likely to meet the requirements needed to be accepted under the self-employed stream? Then we have a few options. We have A, yes, because she'll have 74 points. We have B, no, as she will not meet the minimum requirements. We have C, yes, because she meets all of the requirements. And we have D, no, her job is not an eligible occupation for experience. Okay, we're going to explore each one of these thoroughly. And by doing so, obviously we'll really learn how to answer these types of questions in your exam. Okay, as always, when you're looking at these types of questions, if you're looking at this question specifically, or the questions in our exam simulations, what you want to do is look for the important parts in there. For her, hopefully a few areas jumped out for you. So her age, she's 22, the role she has as a graphic designer, the reason she's contacting you, so her intent, and you have some other elements in there. So the amount of experience she has, language, money, and she has an uncle in Mississauga. So when you categorize all of this important information, it helps you again to look through the question so you can really take a look at the important parts in here. All right, so with that knowledge, when we take a look again at this question in its entirety, hopefully we have a bit of a different perspective on how to answer it. If you need to pause the video now to really read through this, you can go right ahead, of course. Let's take a look at our first option. So we have A, yes, because she'll have 74 points. When you're taking a look at the points system for the self-employed class, you have this on page 32 and 33 of your test day data book. But something important to take a look at, of course, is whether or not she would qualify in these points. And that's one of the options. So that's one of the things that you might have to explore in order to accurately answer this question. So we can see with these points over here under regulation 102 to 104 that there are quite a few elements to look at with this one here. For her, we don't really know the points that she would get for education because it didn't say anything about it. Her experience, as she has 5 years, that'd be 35 points. 10 points for age. Language is fluent, so the maximum. Adaptability, because she mentioned she has that uncle, would give her 5. So in total, she would have 74 points. With a self-employed applicant, remember that they have to meet that minimum score of 35 points as just one of the requirements. There are other requirements, of course. So with her, we can see that, yes, she meets the 35-point minimum over there, but remember that self-employed is very different from, for example, the Federal Skilled Worker Program. In the self-employed program, that point system is needed to establish intent and ability, as we saw in the previous video, but it's not the only requirement. All right, so A is incorrect. As we saw, if a person even gets 100 points, they're not guaranteed to be accepted under the self-employed category because we always have to look at the other areas of the definition. Let's jump ahead to D here. So no, her job is not an eligible occupation for experience. So when we take a look at her information again, we're taking a look at her experience. All right, so we can see at the beginning she's a graphic designer. As we go on into the story, we could see that she has 5 years of experience as a self-employed graphic designer. All right, remember, being self-employed does not automatically make you eligible for the self-employed stream of immigration. You have to take a look at what she did as well. So if you're following along with your test day data book, you can see that on page 32, you have a pretty easy to follow graph where all you have to do is just take her job and see if it's on the graph. And if it is, then all that you're looking for is to see if the person is at a world-class level, self-employed, and of course the amount of time as well. If you want to take a look at the NOC instead of the test day data book, that's not a problem at all, of course. So what you're going to do is compare her job with the eligible occupations on NOC. When we take a look over here, we could see that in fact graphic designers are on this list. So that means that, just as I said before, you're going to have to now take a look to see if she meets the definition of world class and self-employed, and of course the amount of time that she has in that role. So when we take a look again at D to see if that is the correct answer in here, we could see that actually no, her job is eligible for experience according to the definition. Alright, so when we take a look again at the question as a whole, we can see now that we only have 2 options left. We have B, no, as she will not meet the minimum requirements, and we have C, yes, because she meets all of the requirements. Let's analyze C to see if she meets all of the requirements. If she does, this will be, of course, the correct answer, and if she doesn't, it will be B. So when we take a look again at those definitions of a self-employed person as per Regulation 88, remember we have this general, all 3 of these general definition areas that we have to take a look at. And remember as well, the person has to meet all of them, not just 1, not just 2. With her, we can see that she meets the experience requirements because she has 5 years experience as a self-employed graphic designer. The part that we're going to have to really look at now is the intention and ability to be self-employed in Canada. And we could see that in the scenario in the part that says she contacts you to see if there's an option for her to immigrate under the self-employed category because she would like to change her career and become a nurse, but she wants to pay the lower Canadian fees for university. So through this, we can see that she doesn't meet the intent requirements in here. So she doesn't want to become self-employed in Canada in the role that she has her experience in. So even though she has those requirements, she doesn't have the intent, which is why C would be an incorrect answer as well. All right, so through that we can see that B would be the correct answer because she doesn't meet the minimum requirements. She's missing that requirement of intent. All right, so I hope that clarifies the self-employed category quite a bit for you. As always, my name is Kyle Broda, and just a big thank you for letting us help you get ready for your ICCRC Full Skills Exam. Stay tuned, we have a lot more questions coming up for you to explore this area further. But in the meantime, be sure to visit our partners as well to see the services that they can offer you as a current or future RCIC. And I hope you enjoy your studies and keep up the good work. Talk to you soon.